Formica.
Good evening, Madam President. I rise for some comments on the legislation.
Please proceed, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I'd like to commend the good chairs of the Energy Committee for their hard work and their bipartisan effort in moving all of the bills in energy forward, but in particular, this very important bill for the state of Connecticut. I had the great opportunity in 2005 to come up here and begin my term on the Energy Committee and have served since then in various capacities on the Energy Committee, and understanding over that period of time the connectivity and the complication of all of the energy goals for generation and transmission here in the state of Connecticut that we're trying to put forward to get the best price for the ratepayer. We heard about the problems that are happening with nuclear around the country, Madam President. We saw that those problems manifest themselves here, and we put a solution together on the Energy Committee that would solve that problem. In a bipartisan effort, the governor came through and closed that deal. All along, we have said that that is the beginning. All along that we said we must secure our baseload power as a bridge to the energy future, which we know is renewable. Rooftop solar, grid-scale solar is moving forward, but the difficulties of acquiring land for large solar projects here in the state of Connecticut, because of its expensiveness, makes that difficult. Offshore wind is a new and emerging opportunity. It's an opportunity, first of its kind, here in the northeast section of the United States, specifically in our great ports of Bridgeport, New Haven, and New London. New London, with its deep water portability, with its convenience and unobstructed opportunities to get to the far reaches of 40 and 60 miles offshore, unobstructed, make it the perfect place for staging. Bridgeport as well. This will create the opportunity not only for our future energy power, but for jobs and an economic boon, not only to southeast and eastern Connecticut, but in our entire state, because I believe Bridgeport too is poised to benefit from this great industry over time. You know, Madam President, the longer I'm here, and I've said this before, the longer I realize that government is like a blueberry pie. You take a slice of blueberry pie out, and all the blueberries tend to go together. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. And when I was chair of the Council of Governments, its first selectman, I had the great pleasure of working with Congressman Courtney and the people on the Southeast COG, the leaders of 22 other towns, where we helped the congressman procure a Tiger grant. A Tiger grant that was used to increase the capabilities of the freight line that connects the Port of New London, going north through Norwich, through Willimantic, through Stafford Springs, to Brattleboro, to Montreal, left and right to New York and Los Angeles. And why is that important for this initiative tonight? It's important because if New London's pier is going to benefit from reconstruction and renovation, and have the opportunity to be the staging area for this new industry of offshore wind, then down the future, we're going to need opportunities for component assembly, for manufacturing, and for opportunities to grow that industry. And what better place to locate than those areas in Norwich, Columbia, Willimantic, and north that we can access by that freight line? Bring those parts and components down to the pier in New London, or bring them down to Bridgeport, and find ways to get those on barges and get them out 45 miles out to sea, where this offshore wind can benefit our state and our New England coast. So everything is connected. New London is ready. The Energy Committee is ready. The New England port portion of the United States is ready, because our continental shelf is such that it's a perfect staging area before it drops off into the depths to stage and harm and have these turbines built, which have been improving over time. Now, Madam President, I would say to you that this is a new and emerging industry. It's going to collide with an industry that has been here for generations upon generations upon generations, and that is our fishing industry. Our fishermen who have been out there for families, generation after generation. So it's important, and we have been working together to try to mitigate and offset any negative aspect that will take to the fishing industry out there and to marine life in general. So for legislative intent, and as part of this bill, with each of these procurement, and the good chairman talked about 2,000 megawatts, those will be procured in sections of 400 megawatts each. And in each of those 400 megawatt procurements, there will be a fisheries mitigation plan to make sure that during each mitigation, during each procurement, we will take care and to do the best we can to protect the quality of our marine life and the quality of our fishing industry. By giving them safe and unobstructed access to resources, hold harmless for lesions and entanglements and compensation for any loss of gear or time. Make sure that they can properly transit into the lanes for safety and have limited exposure to risk amongst their cable. So, Madam President, this is a good bill. It is a forward-thinking bill. It is a bill with dovetail with our baseload power as it begins to think about exiting the system in 10 or 12 or 15 years, if we can get that long out of nuclear. Offshore wind will be the opportunity to replace a lot of that. So, Madam President, I stand in strong support of this bill. I urge my colleagues to think of the future and to support this bill as we move forward. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Formica.